the topic the other day was, sometimes we're darned if we do and darned if we don't when we're talking to customers. In the story that we talked about was, guy comes in the shop and you're changing engine oil on his car, and you call him up and you say, hey, we got your oil change done, but your brakes are almost metal to metal. Why the heck are you checking my brakes? I didn't ask you to check my brakes. All I wanted you to do was change my oil. And he's offended. You had that experience, right?
Absolutely. They don't want to know.
and then okay, so we know, and we're apprehensive sometimes to call people and tell them there's something wrong with their car, just because, we know the reputation of our industry, and there's all kinds of auto shops. People that do it right, people do it wrong. Some people are indifferent. And then, so let's just play that scenario the other way. Guy comes in, just changed my oil. Okay, great. Changes oil. We put the blinders on. We don't look at anything falling off the car. And a week later, his brakes go metal to metal. And he calls you up, Spencer! My brakes are metal to metal. It was just in there, and you didn't say anything to me about it. And so that's the part in our business where darned if we care about our customers. We care about doing a good job. We want to do right by you. And sometimes it's hard for us to know that. And so the conversation that we had the other day is, when a customer is new to us, we need to do a better job asking. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I appreciate you entrusting us with your car to change the oil. There's two types of auto repair people out there. There's people who wait for the car to break, and there's people who service it and take care of it before it breaks. Just tell me which kind of customer you are, and we'll be fine with that, And so maybe, that was the conversation we had the other day. Maybe that's what we want to do. And because we don't want to offend people. We don't want to, it's not in our best interest for somebody to leave unhappy from our shops. I mean, we really want it to go well in maybe asking that question.
Maybe if they could just wear that name tag. If they just come in with a name tag that says, I want to fix my car, or just do what I ask you to.
Well, and I think so when I even think of the show and the content, and what we're trying to do here at Bumper to Bumper Radio is create realistic expectations for you so that it doesn't seem foreign, Hey, someone's telling me I need brakes on my car and I got 40,000 miles on it. Does that sound reasonable, Spencer?
A little bit.
A little bit, right? It's not totally, but you may be thinking, well, every time I go down there, ask me for money. And quite honestly, if you take care of a car really in the first 80,000 miles, there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff. You guys are big on some of your preventative maintenance of some of the services that you guys do. You do a transmission service where there's kind of an insurance that comes along with the service because you believe in the product so much.
Right. Yeah. Using we paired up with BG and using their product, we get to offer a $4,000 or $2,000 warranty with any of the services that we do as far as fluids for power steering, brake system, your transmission, your engine oil, and it's a benefit to the customer. We believe heavily in preventative maintenance for just that. It's preventative maintenance. I service my own truck regularly, and my truck's never been on a tow truck. It's never left me on the side of the road. I hope that my customers that come in can see that benefit that, hey, it's going to cost me some money to take care of my car, but it's going to save me money in the long run, not having to pay for breakdowns.
And at the end of our conversation, it really broke down to the other day is there's proactive auto repair and there's reactive auto repair. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Matt always says, my customers actually never break down. I never have tow trucks come into my shop if it's my regular customer. You know why? Because we saw that their battery was weak, months before it died. We saw that their water pump was starting to leak. And we even actually kept tabs on it because we reflected to our last invoice and saw, just a little bit of seepage around that water pump. We got to keep our eye on that, or whatever it may be, so you can see it ahead of time. And so, again, you can decide when you go to the auto repair shop, or your car can decide when you go to the auto repair shop. And the other thing that happens, too, is that the consequences of not taking care of your car, and I had a car that we did a timing cover reseal on and a transmission, all that stuff. And when we had the valve covers off, this car had 100,000 miles on it. And the wear on the camshafts looked terrible. And so I called the guy up. I said, it's working now, but what kind of oil are you using in this car? Well, just whatever's on, whatever the coupon deal is, chasing the $15 oil change, whatever it was. And he literally bought a book, because there's a kid's going to knock on your door, say, hey, we're raising money for the football team. I've got this book of coupons for an oil change. Would you be interested in supporting our football team and getting your oil change at the same time? They're usually not that good at saying that, but that's what he did. He was just going and getting the basic oil change, but he was ruining his car by doing that basic oil change. So if you're going to spend $20 to do it wrong, you might as well spend $30 to do it right. And you're talking about the preventative thing. These modern cars, they're more expensive when they break. I would say that we see cars less. Cars, we do not see them as often. But when we do see them, it's very expensive when it's reactive.
Right.
So you don't want to be reactive.
Yeah, most people, we only want to see their car 3 times a year.
Yeah. Come and get your car serviced, get your fluids changed, that kind of stuff.